Hello, welcome back to Entering the Light Fantastic, a channeled message from beyond the veil. This is where we talk to my son Robbie, who's on the other side, about what it's like being in heaven, having life after life. We do this through my dear friend and amazing channel, Marty McCrae, and I'll bring her in right now so we can get going. So give me just a second here. And hi, Marty.
Hi.
How are you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
Fantastic. So I have a little bit of a story before we get started on the channel session, because I want to share with the audience in case Robbie talks about this. January 21st is Robbie's birthday, and he crossed 2 days before that day. But for some reason, his birthday always hits his dad and I a little harder, excuse me,
Yeah.
than the day he crossed. And we always ask him for signs. Well, here's what he did for his dad. His dad pulled into the parking lot after driving for an hour and a half, put the car in park, his phone rang. He looked at the phone and it said a call coming from Rob Myers. He answered it. It was only static. He hung up the phone, and then immediately afterwards, the song from Van Morrison, These Are the Days, and Van Morrison has a special meaning to my husband and I, started playing on his phone. Now you have to know my husband doesn't keep music on his phone. So for that song to pop up, this phone to ring, and have it happen at the exact moment when it's safe to happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And on Robbie's birthday.
That's so cool.
So, you know, our loved ones in spirit work so hard to send us signs. And it's so easy to say, oh, well, that was just a coincidence. That was just a coincidence. But when you step back and look at how it all happened on his birthday, with his name popping up on the phone, and then that song just randomly playing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's beyond coincidence.
I know.
I never know what Robbie wants to talk about when we do these sessions, but in case he brings that up, you will know. But I also shared that with you so that you are more open to signs from your loved ones.
Yeah. We think that's just from, what people usually ask questions of mediums, and how does it all work, and, how can we get signs and, symbols, or how do we know our loved ones are always around us? And if you ask most people who've had someone close to them pass, almost everyone has had some interesting experience like that. But I think that one's just extraordinary. And yeah, I'm anxious to see what he has to say about that.
Well, and I think too, the more we recognize the signs, the more they try to send, because they get encouraged too.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to see if Robbie wants to talk about that or anything else. So I'm going to let Marty go ahead and go into the trance. Again, it'll take her 3 to 5 minutes, and I will edit that time out. So Marty, whenever you're ready,
Okay.
and when Robbie steps in, Robbie, let me know.
Okay.
Hey, Robbie.
Hey, Mama.
It's always so good to talk to you.
It's great to talk to you. Great to be back.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but
Yeah.
So, you usually come in with a couple things that you want to talk about, and I have a couple things that I want to talk about. So would you like to go first?
No, that's okay. The one thing I wanted to talk about was, what I did, for Dad on his birthday.
Oh, good.
And I just thought that was really cool. And I've been trying to do that for a while. And so I'm hoping to where it gets to the point where you can actually hear my voice. But yeah, that's what I'm working on over here. That's like the latest thing that I'm working on.
Now, when you say hear your voice, just hear it like you were speaking like next to me through, I
Yeah.
don't need to talk to Marty, or really?
Yeah. Just like a phone call. Yeah, that's what's being worked on. Yes. That's what I'm working on over here because it's a matter of projecting your electrical energy field. Okay? It's it's tricky. I mean, because you don't control your body. I mean, I don't have a body, okay, but I mean, you don't control your energy in the same way over here as what you do in the physical world. So it's tricky.
So when you say I'm working on having you hear my voice, is that just me or me and your dad?
Anyone, like, yeah, especially you, right? I only really want to talk to you guys, but yeah, that you could just place the call to me, and we can actually talk on the phone because it's they already have these. Well, I don't know what they're called. They're like boxes that pick up different
Oh,
signals.
yeah,
Yeah,
they're called spirit boxes.
there you go. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And right, so they already have those. That's already a thing, and so this would be something similar, just more refined. That's what we're working on over here, and that's what's being worked on over there too. So that's pretty cool.
So I would need a device, not just hear you talk out of thin air. I
Yeah,
need a phone. You're telling me that they're working on like our cell phones, right?
yeah, yes, exactly.
Wow.
Someday that's going to be the case that you could just call us on something like your cell phone now. The cell phones that you guys have now, they suck. I mean, they're nothing. I mean, they're well advanced of what I had when I passed, but still, com- the technology that's really going to come out is just going to blow your mind. It's going to be way, way past that. Yeah, way more advanced, and yeah, pretty cool, huh? I'm excited about it.
Wow. Yeah, very excited.
I want to be on the cutting edge of that. I think that's pretty cool.
Well, you were always on the cutting edge of technology and you had to have the latest and greatest when you were here. So that doesn't surprise me.
Pretty much, pretty much. Yep,
So
yep.
let me ask you a question, Robbie. You're working on this in conjunction with people here on Earth. You're aiding them.
Yes. Anyone who gets into this type of technology, that's what there's a whole bunch of us over here who are like tech heads, I guess, for lack of a better word. I mean, people who are geeks and want to be involved in pushing it forward. So we sort of just try to lend our energy to the project when we see people, you know, um, focused in on it or trying to solve a problem. We try to show them how it's going to be done, like inspire, the word inspire,
Uh-huh.
uh, in
Inspired.
spirit. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's what we're working on.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of us over here into that.
Now, is there a guide or a master over there that works with your group, or you guys just decided to come together and say we're going to help with this, or how did this come about?
Yeah, it's like an organized project, right? I mean, there is a master, like he's a techie guy. Um, I guess he's pretty well known in the tech world, who's on this side, who now wants to shoot back the information that he's learned from being over here.
Oh,
And I can't say who it is. I was just going to say, oh, it's, I think people could probably figure out there's some recent crossings over, let's just say that, of guys who were heavily involved in the tech industry. So
oh,
you can use your imagination of who it is, but yeah,
I'm gonna get
pretty
you.
well known people. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow,
it's
isn't that interesting?
it's exciting to me that I think that's something. Well, I guess that's always been going on, right? But to me, it feels like that's something kind of new that people are really holding on to um, the stuff that interested them in life. You carry with you forever, right? But I guess it sort of makes sense that these tech dudes will want to come over here and still help out. Maybe they were working on this type of project when they were in life. I don't really know. I don't know these guys personally. I just am part of a group that, they put out the call. It's kind of like, oh, and that's what I want to tell you too, is we're meeting in a different place today. We're meeting at a library. It's a really cool place that I like to go, and it's surrounded by trees, and you can just kind of kick back on a couch here, and there's these long, low windows all around. Just you look out into the woods. It's really cool, pretty cool. So
Wow.
that's where we're hanging out today. It's quiet. It's much quieter versus me being on a stage with all these, people shouting out stuff. It's just us today.
Oh, okay. Do you have to talk softly because you're in the
No,
library?
I know, right? No, no,
But
no.
getting
I
back,
got a private room.
oh, there you go. So getting back to the phone just for a second, I remember, I think it was an old movie, and I think it was a black and white movie, maybe even The Twilight Zone. But there was a special phone booth, and people would wait in line. I think it was a movie and not a dream. And people would wait in line for their turn. And when they picked up the old style phone, it
Yeah.
had the little earpiece, with the cord, and then you talk into the mouthpiece.
Oh,
They could talk to their loved ones on the other side.
oh, maybe that's like where they got the idea,
I
or
don't know, but I remember seeing an old movie like that, and that was years and years ago.
cool.
So, you said this idea has been floating around for a while, so
Yeah,
I just wanted to add and
yeah, really cool.
I don't know what movie that is, but maybe one of the audience members remembers that.
Right? Yeah,
But
like an old Twilight Zone or something.
yeah. So so what are they going to call these new phones, Rob?
Soul phone. Yeah, you just wanted me to say that.
I did.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well,
I mean, duh, right?
yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah. It's a soul to soul thing.
Yeah. Well,
And
so
amazing.
I'll let you ask questions. So go ahead. I mean, I have more things to talk about, but I want to see what questions do you want to ask this time?
Well, I did just want to touch on this, and then I'll turn it back over to you. When you crossed, you obviously discovered you could do or be anything that you wanted to do. I'm sure there was a period of healing, of life review that you went through. But then there comes a point, I'm imagining, that it's time to go back to school, if you will. Summer's over and you need to go back or continuing education, even, if you will. Are you involved in that? Am I on the right track? Is that something that the souls do? I mean, we have guides, right? I'm assuming that to be a guide, you have to go through certain training to be a teacher, so can you talk about that a little bit, but more what you're doing?
Oh, okay. I mean, good question.
Thanks.
I never really thought to talk about that. But that's cool. So what I think is, I can't say how it works. I can just talk to what I experienced when I came over, right? So when I got here, and after you party, and then you do your life review, and you meet and greet everyone that you knew from before, or that you remember from a past life, or your ancestors. They're all interested to meet you because they've been watching, which I did not know. Had I known, maybe I might have been a better person. I don't know, but anyway.
You did a pretty good job, son.
Well, it makes you go, oh, okay. When you get over here and you realize, oh my God, these dudes have been, seeing everything I've been doing. It's a little creepy. I mean, I won't lie. It kind of creeped me out a bit. It made me feel self-conscious.
Well, let me stop you right there. is it our ancestors watch us
Yep.
because your actions can heal even their karma?
Deep. Yeah. Yeah. Sure. For sure. And I think that's really interesting too, because wow, it's going to take a lot of layers to unpack that. But yes, the short answer is yes. Um, but not everyone is here to heal ancestral karma. That's, but that is a thing that can be.
Okay.
So, for example, well, I think we talked about this kind of maybe already, but maybe not on the show. Um, it's so cool we have a show. So anyway, um, yeah, karma, ancestral karma. Some people sign up to do that. Some people come back into the life, and they're specifically coming back to help heal family wounds. And yeah, Marty knows all about this. Okay, so anyway, it's I'm trying to think of a good example. If there's say one of your ancestors committed a crime, or something really big happened.
Hmm.
um, I've met people over here who have been involved in things like that, not in our family, but anyway, if there was a big crime or something that left a big energetic imprint, okay, it had to be like whatever you did was so terrible that it left a big karmic imprint in the world, an energetic imprint. I mean, sorry, I shouldn't say
Okay.
karmic. A big bad a wound that it's like a hole. You can see it. You can physically see it when we're on this side. You're not physically going to see the energetic wounds when you're in the physical world. But when you're, over here, you can see, oh my God, there's that big energetic hole that, Dave left in 2010 or whatever. And so there are people over here who specifically go, I'll take that on. I'll try to go back and repair that energy when
Oh,
I go into a body again. And you forget about all that stuff when you're in your physical body. But what's crazy about that is people who suffer a lot, physically, energetically, or have a lot of things going on that it just seems like, God, dude can't catch a break. I mean, like every bad thing happens to this poor guy. People like that often are taking on, and they're here to heal big family wounds, big family karma. And it's a generous soul who does that, I'll tell you that. And it's yes, that the action of doing that can be part of a class, like a master's level class, if you will. You go up in levels, just like a video game, right? You go up in levels on the heaven side, and your soul is always growing. That's what our souls yearn to do. That's what we're made for. Our souls are to grow and progress and build knowledge and heal and repair, and not just sit around and play video games. It's like your soul yearns to be closer to God, the source, our creator. And so the way you do that is by working your way up through these levels, right? Just like a video game. You work your way up to certain levels by doing certain tasks or taking on certain jobs. Yeah. So yeah, when I came over, I was like, oh wow, you can get involved in all this stuff. You don't have to just. I mean, you can also just sit around, right? You can sit around and watch your grandkids' lives. You can sit around and watch your ancestors back on Earth. I mean, not ancestors, your loved ones, your family that you left behind. You could just use your time in heaven to be a guardian for them. Lots of people just do that. They just are like, no, I'm content to sit around and do that for now. There's so many things you can do over here. That's what's pretty cool about it.
but
For
even to be
me,
a guardian, do they have to go through some training, or
oh yes,
you
yes,
being
of
them,
course,
helping
yeah.
them?
But
Okay.
your training really comes with certain, you've got to incarnate, for the most part. Most people over here, most souls have been through, who are going through that higher level training to be a guardian, right? They have, they've lived a ton of lives on earth and they have a lot of human experience. And so you can't really progress up the chain without a lot of incarnations to be a guardian. Now, then there are also angels, angelic beings. Well, they don't have to do that. They're different. I don't know how to say it. They're different than us. They're not human souls. They're just different. They're differently higher evolved beings. They're angelic beings or angelic beings, and so most of them, no, they don't have to go through a training. They just are who they are.
Okay, well, let's get back to you then.
Oh,
Okay,
me.
you got
Yeah. So I've taken a few classes, but um, I've mostly been hanging out with my family and, watching you guys and making sure, Jack's okay and checking in on you guys and the dogs and just watching over my family. That's part of the thing that you can do over here. But yeah, this project I thought was really cool, that soul phone thing. And when I heard about that, I'm like, oh, because I want to talk to you guys again. I mean, and not use somebody else's body to do it. It's awkward. It'd be much easier if I could just, no offense, but
yeah.
it'd be much easier if you could use a device, right? That'd be pretty cool. So that's what I'm doing. That's one thing I'm doing.
Okay.
Um,
So the classes are always there if you feel
yeah,
drawn to
anytime.
them.
Yeah, day or night.
So
Yeah.
you say you're in the library. Is this the Akashic Library that you're in today?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's a division of.
Okay.
It's there's like over there. Those are the Akashic records, and then here it's more contemporary. Just like if you want to, there's like a hologram. This is like a hologram room that I like to go to.
Oh,
Hologram. Uh,
that,
anyway, you can see, it's like virtual reality. You can see anything you want. Um, if you can dream it, you can see it, like that type of thing. Pretty
okay.
cool.
Okay.
So anything I think of and go, I wonder if anyone ever thought of that before. Wonder if there's such a thing as this, and you can just, it's like you Google it on where at home you used to Google everything. Well, over here it's like that, only it's just instantaneous. It's thought goes onto the screen. I can say, I wonder, hey, I want to know about this. And I don't even have to speak it out loud. I just think the thought in my head and it's instantly my thoughts projected onto the screen, and it sort of flips through for, when did this ever happen in human history, or is it about to happen, or can I influence that? And yeah, you find out about a lot of projects going on that way.
Wow. I'd be lost in there. I'd never come out.
Yeah, right. This is my favorite room. I mean, no doubt. I was like, yep, today, Marty, we're gonna be in here, and it's quiet and it's cool and it's beautiful. There's these little windows. You just kick back in your little couch, and it's just beautiful.
Wow. Okay. So, well, that was kind of my big question that I wanted to know today was about the training and what you're doing, because it seemed like every time I was talking to you, you were surfing. And I'm going, wait, I know there's more to that up there. So,
I mean, I do surf a lot, but you know, I still like to do that.
sure.
Yeah,
And because there's no time, you can do it anytime you want.
yeah, yeah. That's like my hangout place. When I'm not doing anything else, I like to hang out there.
Okay.
My old beach.
So we talked a little bit about the what I love, the soul phone. Um, but you did say there was a couple other things you wanted to touch on why we have you here today. What were some of the other things that you wanted to talk about?
Well, we're kind of talking about, I guess, what you and Dad were talking about, the law of one.
Oh, okay.
And that is being really talked about a lot over here on this side. Um, and I don't know if it's really that big on the Earth side. I don't know. I think it was for a while and then it's kind of died out, but it really needs to be revived again. That's what I'm being told. Like, if you talk about one thing, you should talk about this. And so, yeah, that the whole law of one, Ra and the law of one, everyone should attempt to read that. It's a little slow going. Sometimes it's a little wordy, but really what it all boils down to is that's how the earth is going to evolve into a different state of consciousness. That's it. And it's really super important that humans have an understanding of what that is, the law of one. It's the golden rule, do unto others as you would have done to you. But the law of one is much more I am you, you are me. What I do to you, I do to myself.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let me just tell the audience that what Robbie's talking about right now, there was a medium, a channel. Her name was Carla Ruckert. And in the 1970s, I believe, 60s and 70s, she channeled the consciousness, the group called Raw. And there was 104 sessions. And so they wrote the book about it and published it. And it's just 2 years ago, they went through and did what they called the re-listening project and re-edited it. So it's called Raw, R-A, the Law of One. So that's what Robbie's talking about right now. And that was in another episode, if you didn't see it, where Raw channeled through Marty. It was a phenomenal experience.
yeah, we all got to meet Ra, right? That was pretty cool.
I hope we get to do that again.
Yeah, I'll see if I could set it up. I mean,
That'd be awesome.
yeah, that would be pretty cool. I really thought that was amazing. But that was like assigned to me. I didn't go looking for that. That was just something I was supposed to do. And
They
so
came
that,
to you.
I'm sorry.
They came and talked to you. They
Yeah.
approached you.
Yep.
Have you
And
seen them or been with them since?
no, no,
Interesting.
no. You're. I know your guide. I know your guide, and so I have talked with her,
Oh,
and that's pretty cool. I didn't know if I was supposed to say all this stuff because it was treated so like, it's a big secret, or it's like you can't talk about this, or be careful when you talk about that. I think I'm more relaxed now. I think I'm starting to get the hang of, okay, I know it's just super important, not for us on the other side. We're not supposed to interfere with your free will. So, you know, it's wrong. It's just wrong. That's why people go to Earth, is to learn their own lessons. And if you're always kind of parked yourself back on the other side, what should I do now? What should I do now? That doesn't teach you anything. You have to, I mean, it's great to go check in with your guide and find out, oh, okay, am I on the right path? But ultimately, the Earth is a big test for you. How do you live on your own? What do you do when you think no one else is looking? So anyway, I can say that now. Yeah, I talked to your guide. I know your guide.
okay. So I will interject this. What Robbie's talking about is I just started channeling my guide. Her name is Leonini.
Yeah.
She gives me these daily inspirational messages. And if you go to my Facebook page, The Orb Connection, they're posted on there and you can see this stuff doesn't come from me. I'm not that wise or creative, but
Yeah.
this just started happening. And Robbie, is that what you're talking about? Is because
Yep.
you didn't want to influence me on this before it happened?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't think I could have anyway. She's amazing. She's she's my guide too. She's my teacher on this side.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, and it won't surprise you to know that she is also a teacher for Marty. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But that there's our connection. Yeah.
That's the connection. That's how we found each other.
Yeah.
And that's pretty amazing to me, you know, how it all just sort of evolves. And I don't know, when I first found out about this, I was talking to her, Leonini, and I was asking like, well, how, you know, what, how are we going to do this? How's this all happen? You know, how does my mom meet this other person? And how, I mean, she's over in Washington and, you know, we're in California and I don't get it. And it was all just sort of, I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. I thought that, man, if you can do that, that's pretty impressive that you could set these situations up where these people would meet, you would meet each other, and then, you know, I could come back and I could start to talk. It's like so many things had to happen for this to be able, for me to be able to do this, talk with my mom again and talk with my family again. That's pretty cool. And so I
Extreme.
just,
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't believe it.
No, it's an
I didn't believe it. I thought, yeah, okay,
well, if
yeah,
you can't believe it
we'll
on
see if
that
she can do
side,
it. I know.
like,
No, I seriously, I could not believe it. I thought, well, all right, we'll see what this lady can do. And it's not that she did that, but it's just amazing that this is part of your journey, Mom, and this is part of Marty's journey, and mine too. And so, I mean, this side, and still going on and talking with my mom on the human side. I mean, to go back and forth like that, I didn't know how that was going to work. I thought, how, I don't know. If I did, I'd be there more because I like, you know, I'd say hi to more people. But anyway, it's all pretty amazing how it all, what was happening is she just kept saying, it's destiny, it's preordained, it's something that your mom wrote into her chart and Marty wrote into her chart.
wow,
And so we've all known each other before, that much I can tell you. Yeah,
wow.
we've all known each other in a different life. I can tell you that.
But you
Yeah.
know, I think that happens to a lot of people. You meet somebody and you just feel so comfortable and like you've known them for a lifetime. And
Yes.
you know, and you probably have before. But
Yeah.
you know, those are our signposts that, you know, hey, you're with your soul family again. You know, you guys have done this.
Yes.
And spirit coordinates. It's a complex
Mhm.
choreography that they do. To it's not that we're puppets, but to set everything in motion so it all meets at the same time is
Yeah.
it's a phenomenal thing to observe and to be a part of. And I love it. I love it. So and where it is now is just so awesome how the three of us were brought together.
Yes. Well, so dang, it just flew out of my head. I was gonna say this soul groups. That's what we're gonna talk about. So we are all part of a like an extended family soul group.
Mhm.
And our group has about 50 people in it. And that's a pretty big group.
Oh,
Usually groups are maybe around 25 at the most, but we're a 50.
wow.
And it's just amazing how um, everyone has roles to play at different times.
Hmm.
And I don't know. Well, I didn't think I'd be dead. Okay, just putting it out there. I didn't think I'd. I thought if I was going to take part in this, it's like you come back over to the other side and you accessing parts of you that were buried. You're like, oh, I didn't even realize that when I was in my physical body, but I have this skill, or I have that, you know, characteristic, or have, you know, the ability to do this other thing that I never thought I would know how to do. You don't see all of that. You kind of it's almost like you get mind wiped, or like a blank slate before you come into the world. And when you're a baby, and then you grow up, and you're lucky if you get back in touch with those skills. Like there's a lot of kids who come in and they're just like a genius at the piano, or like a virtuoso at the violin or something like that, really early on, and you think, that's got how did that just happen? Well,
Yeah.
it's like a carryover, a bleed through from their past life for sure.
Yeah.
And it's your soul has a memory. And so I think, knowing what I know now, here's something that I can tell you guys who are still in physical human bodies. Try everything that you're even remotely interested in, right? Just the slightest thought, oh, I wonder what it's like to do that. Do it. Just do it. You should do it. Because you don't know, you might wake up a part of yourself that's just been lying unconscious, like, oh, I forgot. You might, your soul might need to know to do that certain thing. I guess I sort of feel like, if Marty hadn't have, that was expensive to do that first mediumship workshop that she's went to, but that's where she met you.
Mm-hmm.
And she took a big risk to do that. And she came out to a lot of people. And so, see, I can go back and see how that all happened. And well, I saw it when it happened. And I know I was so excited because I was like, this is so cool. I mean, what if she didn't do that? So, I mean, maybe you guys would have figured out another way to get together.
Or spirit would have figured out another way to put us
right,
together.
right.
Yeah.
But that was an important thing. And what if you said no? So I don't know. I think one thing I feel good about my life in the physical body is that I did try a lot of things. I did do a lot of things, like, okay, let's do it. I'm game. Let's do it. And
yes, you
and and I think that's how everyone should live, honestly. I mean, you might not be good at something. You might try something and go, that's not me. That's not my thing. But at least you tried.
Sure.
And that quality of really trying, just trying as many things as you can, is really important for the growth of your soul. Yeah, over here and on earth. Just, you might be scared, you might be nervous, you might be, worried about, oh, I'm going to look like an idiot if I do this wrong, or someone's going to make fun of me or flip me crap because I didn't do it right. Whatever, doesn't matter. What ultimately matters is what you do for your soul.
All right, my son. Well, another fascinating session. Thank you for joining us. And I just want to send my love to you. And I can't wait for that soul phone.
Yeah, me too, right? That'll be really cool.
Yeah. So
all right.
I'll say goodbye and let my friend back, okay?
Thank you.
Okay, love you, honey.
Love you.
There she is. Marty, was another remarkable session. Thank you so much for your time and your generosity and your talent. And with that, I'll remind everybody that Marty's contact information, if you'd like a reading from her, and any information about my website, is at the end of the video. So thank you for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.